Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University. This is the last part of our series looking at emotions, motivations, and learning to read, what I think is the most significant variable in working with students with reading difficulties. Emotions, first of all, defining our term, are the desires that cause a person to act. Basic needs or desires, they determine goal-oriented behavior. Now, our lower level motives are driven by this homeostatic mechanism, this thirst, hunger, warmth, sleep, need to get back to normal, so you aren't desiring that, aren't needing that sort of thing. Also, taking a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we have lower level needs and higher level needs. And if we are focused here, if our motivation is getting here, we tend not to be able to achieve these higher level. So what is of concern for us as reading teachers? The lower level needs: love and belonging, esteem, safety. That means psychological safety as well as physical safety. If these are what students are attending to, they're not going to get to these higher levels. Basic motivation. Motivation and emotion can be closely intertwined. Emotions are evoked when motives are achieved or thwarted. We achieve something, good emotion. We fail, we don't. So emotions and motivation. Emotions activate the approach or withdrawal behaviors, approach behaviors. A happy emotion, a positive emotion, we want to do it. Negative emotion, we withdraw from doing that sort of thing. So rewards and punishers that occur are important regulators of motivation and emotions. Think about in your classroom the rewards and punishers. Sometimes it's attention, sometimes it's success, sometimes it's anxiety, fear, failure, that sort of thing. So think about the rewards and punishers that occur naturally, not the little prizes you give out, but the effects of instruction. Now, this is called the value expectancy theory. Value times expectancy equals motivation. If you value the behavior, and if you expect to succeed, then you'll be motivated. The extent to which you value the behavior and you expect to succeed is your motivation. But if any of the factors is zero, just like in multiplication, the product will be zero. If you expect to fail, you will not be motivated to read, to challenge yourself. If you find reading boring and dull, you hate the books, there's nothing good to read, you find it of no value, well, then you're not going to be motivated to do that behavior, to read. So value expectancy. Students have to value it or find it valuable and meaningful, and you have to scaffold instruction so that they don't fail, a no failure zone, so they don't develop learned helplessness. In reading instruction and all, we want this to be a no frustration zone, this nice zone of proximal development. This is the level, the independent level, where they can do it independently. This is the frustration level where even with teacher help, they can't do it. You want to provide scaffolding to get just a little ahead of where students can do it independently. This is where learning occurs. Boring drills, bad books affect value as well. Frustration affects your expectancy. Bad books, boring drills affect value. Value times expectancy equals motivation. So what does it mean for you? Skills instruction is part of reading instruction, but keep instruction brief and briskly paced. Remember, students don't learn to read by your skills-based instruction. That's part of it, but they learn to read by being exposed to reading and words and all this stuff. So keep instruction, get to the real task, which is practicing reading and writing. Celebrate what students can do. Don't find deficits and then drill deficits. Help them overcome their deficits by focusing on what they can do. And when writing, use open-ended experiences that celebrate meeting, open-ended activities in which all can succeed. And we use scaffolding to the greatest extent possible. Scaffolded oral reading, described elsewhere, scaffolded writing, and language experience approach. These are all types of scaffolding which enable students with reading difficulties to participate in authentic literacy behaviors.